Now, Brian Neiman, Brian Wilson, Mary Catherine Ham, today's newsmakers, and you, the Morning Majority.
105.9 FM, WMAL.
Happy Wednesday. It's 8:07 with the Morning Majority. Brian Neiman, Mary Catherine Ham here in the very nice studios of WMAL in Washington, D.C. Brian Wilson, that is, down in Florida at the Southern Command.
I like that. I'm dipping my toe into the water as we speak.
Very nice. Well, it's going to be 68 here today, so we're enjoying Florida-like weather.
Yeah. I think it was actually a degree or two warmer in D.C. than it was in Florida yesterday for me.
That's for you. Tucker Carlson joins us now from the Daily Caller. So we talked to you several weeks ago, I guess, about your dinner that you're going to have with Bill Ayers. You won a contest. What was you, like $2,500 to have dinner with Bill Ayers?
Exactly.
Okay.
I won an online auction.
And you're working on the days to have it. And I hear that your dinner is actually going to be this Sunday, which happens to be Super Bowl Sunday. Really, of all days to have dinner with Bill Ayers, it's going to be on Super Bowl Sunday, Tucker?
Such is my commitment to journalism. That's exactly it. It doesn't matter, middle of the night, early in the morning, Super Bowl Sunday, Valentine's Day, Christmas, whatever it takes.
I think it just proves how un-American Bill Ayers really is.
Well, what about me? I'm going too.
Yeah, it's fine for you because you're invited. I assume, who set the date? You didn't set the date, did you, Tucker?
Right. How did it come?
Well, that's a really good point.
Yeah.
That's an excellent point. Well, also, I wanted to do it sooner rather than later because I was worried that he would back out. So we've had a contest, an online contest, for people to send in questions to Bill Ayers. I think we're choosing the winner today. All expenses paid trip to Chicago. Super Bowl Sunday to with Bill Ayers and his wife, Bernadine Dorn. Domestic terrorists. It ought to be really, really interesting. And, just to be completely clear, I'm not going out of a love for Bill Ayers. I'm going because we have some questions to pose to Bill Ayers.
So you're going with what, like a group of guys and girls from the Daily Caller, and there's one listener?
Well,
there's
some other, as you can imagine, there'll be some other interesting people coming to the dinner, because why not? Right?
Right.
If you're going to be having dinner with Bill Ayers on Super Bowl Sunday, you might as well put together an all-star cast.
Is it an on-the-record dinner?
Oh, of course it's on the record.
Okay.
Absolutely. Now, he stipulated no recording devices, so we're not going to go all James O'Keefe on him, though it's tempting, but we're not. We're going to abide by that, but, notebooks out, and, of course it's on the record. It's going to be really interesting. Look, Bill Ayers was apparently a close friend of Barack Obama.
Right.
So, you would want to know more. I do. I can't wait, actually.
Does he get to bring people to the dinner as well? Can he stack the room?
Well, he's bringing his wife, and, of course, Bernadine Dorn, who was also a member of the Weathermen and a fugitive. So there's that. He's cooking the meal.
Wow.
It's at an undisclosed location. I don't know where it is. He's going to tell us when we land. It's all very cloak and dagger. I'm really excited.
Are you going to have a food taster?
I'm not.
That's why he invited me, and I said no.
I grew up next to Tijuana eating food off the street, and my rule is I will eat anything. I will put anything in my mouth. I don't care. And it served me well for 42 years, so I'm going to eat whatever he serves.
All right. Well, it should be fascinating. I can't wait to read all about it in the Daily Caller. It should be a fun conversation for sure.
Oh, it's going to be fantastic.
All right.
And we're going to need it because we're not going to have much to talk about in the primary.
So do you think it's over? Is this
I think
Romney's?
It's over. Yeah, I do think. I don't want to think that. It's not, I'm not rooting for Gingrich necessarily, but I am rooting for a longer contest because I think it's interesting, and of course it's good for us in the news business. But I think it's pretty hard to see Newt's road forward, and also, you do need some level of self-control to be president, and he has not exhibited that.
Well, if you do think it's mostly wrapped up, and it does look like a hard path for Newt moving forward, what is the path to healing? Because there are a lot of people, I watch it in my Twitter feed all day long, who are very ticked off, think there is an establishment conspiracy to get Mitt Romney on the top of the ticket, and are very upset and will stick with Newt for a while here.
Yes. Well, there's not an establishment conspiracy to make Mitt Romney the nominee. There was an establishment conspiracy to stop Newt Gingrich.
Right.
No question about that. A lot of people with a vested interest in the survival of the Republican Party pulled out all the stops to stop Newt. and that's because they saw him as a threat. It's not because they love Romney, though. That's just not true, as far as I can tell. Romney is the default candidate. There's nobody else. But if Mitch Daniels was in the race, I mean, Mitt Romney would be yesterday's news. People would barely remember his name, I think, if you had someone like Daniels in the race.
So eventually,
Newt was a real threat, for sure, to the future of the Republican Party, according to the people who run that party. So, they did stop him.
So eventually, do you see folks, the most conservative, who Newt Gingrich won last night, moving naturally over towards Mitt Romney because they want to beat Barack Obama, or does Mitt Romney do something for them? What is it?
Romney hasn't done a lot for them,
right,
to be honest with you. I mean, his outreach to conservatives has been halting at best and pretty inept, I would say. It's odd. I don't understand the strategy. If you're Romney, you're not going to win without conservative support. Why not spend some time with the Tea Party folks? Why not do interviews with conservative media? Why not make conservative noises? I mean, I don't know what the downside is exactly, but they're not doing it. So that's a little bit strange.
It sounded concerning when I read the other day. I think it was Investors Business Daily did a call to all the Florida Tea Party groups to say, have they met with you? And it was like not even the cursory meetings were happening.
No, they're very arrogant, and I'm not exactly sure why. I mean, there's a lot to respect about the Romney campaign. It's disciplined, it's smart, it's totally professional, it's very corporate. There's no doubt about that. But they're not doing that, and they must have thought this through. They must have a reason for it. I just can't imagine what that reason would be. The truth is, Newt is not conservative, and yet he's getting conservative votes because they're so upset with Romney. So if you're Romney, it doesn't take that much to win people over, actually. Here's the bottom. James Carville once said something very deep and true to me. He said, people don't like it if they think that you hate them.
Yep.
And I think that that's true. If people think you don't like them, they don't like you. So, a lot of the time, all it takes is seeming sympathetic, seeming like you're listening, seeming like you care a little bit, seeming like you don't have contempt. That's not hard. I mean, you don't have to give up a lot to do that. And the Romney people haven't even tried, really.
But you know what would heal it all? Is if he nominates Marco Rubio to be his running mate.
Yeah, I mean, that's right. There are definitely potential problems with that as well. I mean, you want to make sure that whomever you nominate, and I love Rubio, I'm not, of course, criticizing Rubio, but you want to know that you know everything about the person before you nominate him, and Rubio, for all his great qualities, is pretty new on the scene. So is that, I don't know.
Well, maybe it's not Rubio, but it's somebody who is, conservative or who is Tea Party-esque.
Well, Rubio would be the one. I mean, boy, conservatives do love Rubio.
They do, absolutely.
For good reason, by the way, but that's not as safe a choice as you could make, and the Romney people strike me as very averse to risk. So, I don't actually think he's going to do that, but that would help. But in the meantime, look, just call people, talk to them. Let your guard down a little bit. Be a little more real. These are basic, obvious pieces of advice. I hope that he'll follow them, considering I do think as of today he's pretty much wrapped up the nomination. I've been wrong before, but I'd be willing to bet on it.
All right, Tucker. Well, enjoy your Super Bowl meal at the Ayers house. I can't wait to hear all about it. It's going to be fantastic.
If I come back alive, I'll call you.
All right. We'd love to hear about it next week for sure.
Yeah.
Tucker Carlson joining us from the Daily